Skyforce is a fictional account built around the airstrike by the Indian Air Force on the Sargodha Airbase during the 1965 Indo-Pak War.
और इसी मैडनेस को हम पेट्रियोटिज्म कहते हैं।
One of the most remarkable stories from this strike was that of Squadron Leader T.K, who went missing in action. In 1988, 23 years after the battle, he was awarded the Veer Chakra. He is the only IAF officer to get the honor posthumously. In this telling, Devaya is changed to T. Krishnan Vijaya, shortened to Tabby. Debutant directors Sandeep Kevlani and Abhishek Anil Kapoor find the throbbing heart of Tabby's story in the last 15 minutes of the film. Akshay Kumar, Hindi cinema's poster boy of patriotism, here playing Wing Commander Ahuja, gives a thundering speech on what it takes to love your country so much that you're willing to die for it. We've seen him do versions of this before, but here the dose of fact in the fiction gives it power, as does Akshay's performative solemnity. The climax is rousing and emotional, and by the time photos of the real-life heroes alongside the actors who play them come on screen, accompanied by the poignant, plaintive voice of the late great Lata Mangeshkar singing "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logo," you are likely to have tears in your eyes. I did. But it takes more than 2 hours to get here, and that is the challenge. Skyforce has been written by Carl Austen, Sandeep Kevlani, and Amil Kian Khan, with additional screenplay and dialogues by Nirain Bhatt, the writer of last year's blockbuster Stree 2. Incidentally, the producers of this film include Stree 2 director Amar Kaushik. The film is actually about 2 missions. The first is Mission Skyforce, which is the attack on Sargodha, and the second is Ahuja's mission to figure out what happened to Tabby on the night of the strikes. Both these threads are compelling enough to merit individual films. But Sandeep, Abhishek, and the many writers merge them into one in a way that the first undermines the second. Because for the first hour, the directors cannot resist the tired Top Gun tropes of heroic fighter pilots steering their machines in the air with the grace and dexterity of swans gliding on water. Like director Siddharth Anand in last year's Fighter, Sandeep and Abhishek also fetishize the hardware. We get many shots of men wearing aviators walking in slow motion towards and against their planes. In one scene, Ahuja determinedly says, "It's not about the machine, it's about the man inside the machine." The irony is that Tabby must play second fiddle in his own story. Ahuja is clearly the propeller of this narrative, but that's also a function of the casting. Skyforce marks the debut of actor Veer Pahariya, who plays Tabby. The directors smartly leave the heavy lifting to Akshay. Veer has limited expressions and limited screen time, but in that he must establish himself as a bona fide Hindi film hero. So there is a misplaced song number, chest-thumping dialogue about sacrificing your life for the country, and of course, dogfights in the sky. Like Patty in Fighter, Tabby is also a perennial rule breaker. After one skirmish with the enemy in which he almost dies, Tabby exclaims, "Maza aa gaya." In short, the character is a cliche and Veer doesn't yet have the skill set to enhance it, but thankfully he doesn't downgrade it either. The first half is mostly focused on planes in the air, expositional dialogue about these planes versus much superior Pakistani planes, and military strategy. We also get the standard issue stilted patriotic dialogue such as, "Let's slap them right back," or "We will go in there and rip them apart." While the attack by the Pakistani Air Force is portrayed with tension and skill, the main one on the Sargodha airbase feels like a video game, mostly because the Pakistanis can't shoot straight while the Indians don't seem to miss. But it is on the second mission of unraveling the mystery of Tabby that Skyforce finds depth. This is also because the plot allows for some humanity to be allotted to the Pakistani side. While we stick to the cliche of Pakistanis beginning or ending their sentences with Janab, there is some compassion in the portrayal. The women, Nimrat Kaur and Sara Ali Khan, stay on the sidelines, one being supportive and the other pining for her missing husband. The mostly plodding writing doesn't let the characters pop, but the story is powerful enough to elevate the film. Skyforce had the potential to soar much higher, but Sandeep and Abhishek do manage to end it on a high note, and that is a relief. If you like this review, do subscribe to the Hollywood Reporter India.